Welcome back, everyone. We're going deep today.
Mm.
Really deep.
Deeper than we've ever gone before, you might say.
Exactly. I'm excited about this one. We're diving into the Quartus Liber Mysteriorum.
Ah, yes. A Latin text, November 15th, 1582.
So, not exactly light reading, huh? But definitely intriguing. I mean, we're talking about angelic encounters, cryptic symbols, and a quest for knowledge.
It reads like a diary filled with conversations with angels.
Wait, hold on. Like actual conversations with angels.
As the text presents it, yes. Intricate diagrams, too, and a man trying to understand what lies beyond the everyday world.
It's like a blend of history, mystery, and maybe even a bit of magic.
Well, the man writing this diary is Dr. John Dee.
Okay, the name rings a bell.
He was a prominent figure in Elizabethan England, advisor to Queen Elizabeth I.
Oh, wow. Okay, now I remember. Dee, the scholar, the mathematician, the astronomer.
And, as we'll see, deeply fascinated by the occult.
So we're talking about a man of science and reason, right in the Queen's court, exploring magic and the supernatural. That's quite the mix.
It's important to remember that back then, the line between science and magic wasn't as clear as it is today.
Right, right. It was all part of trying to understand the universe, I guess.
Exactly. Dee wanted to understand the universe and humanity's place in it.
But in his exploration of the occult, he wasn't alone, was he?
No, he wasn't. Enter Edward Kelly.
Kelly, wasn't he like a
A scryer. He claimed to see and talk to spirits.
spirits through, what, a crystal ball?
Not a crystal ball exactly. He used what they called a shoe stone. Think of it like a crystal or a magic mirror.
Wow. Okay, so we have Dee, this brilliant scholar, writing down everything Kelly sees and their conversations with angels. This is where it starts to sound like something out of a fantasy novel.
Right. And right away, the text introduces us to a complex hierarchy of angels.
A hierarchy, so not just like angels floating around randomly.
No. Think of it as a celestial court with kings and princes, each one governing a different part of creation.
Okay, that's pretty elaborate.
From nature's elements to the secrets of metals and even human affairs, these angels are depicted as having influence over everything.
I mean, it's incredible to think of someone in Dee's position trying to map out this angelic hierarchy. What was he hoping to achieve with all of this?
That's the question that runs through the whole text. There's a sense of awe, for sure, in his meticulous notes. But there's also a desire for knowledge that could be applied to the real world.
You mean like practical magic?
He wasn't just asking about names and ranks. He was digging into their powers, their areas of influence.
Like he was creating a guidebook, almost. A user manual for angelic magic.
And that's where things get even more interesting. In one episode, Dee asks about swaying the King of Spain to his purposes.
Oh, wait a minute. Are we talking high-level political scheming using angels?
It wasn't just a passing thought either. He goes into details about rituals, tools, specific angels to invoke.
So Dee's ambition is starting to show here. Was it purely political, or did he believe he could actually make the world a better place by influencing the King of Spain?
Again, that's the beauty of this text. It doesn't give us easy answers. It's a glimpse into a mind wrestling with complex ideas, trying to find knowledge that could change the world.
But it wasn't just about angelic encounters, was it? This text is full of tables and letters and numbers, all arranged in these crazy patterns.
Those tables are fascinating.
It's like Dee was trying to decode some kind of cosmic secret message.
There's one called a heptagonum stellaire. It's a 7-pointed star. It represents 7 powerful princes and their areas of influence.
7-pointed star. Okay, got it. What else?
And there's the round table with 49 names on it. Dee tries to match these names with the angelic hierarchy, searching for connections and hidden meanings.
49 names. It's starting to sound a bit overwhelming.
And to make it even more complex, there are 6 tables of letters representing the names and functions of 42 angels, and they're divided into good and evil.
Okay, so it wasn't just about understanding the structure of this angelic world, but also deciphering their language. Did he ever, feel like he was in over his head?
You can sense his struggle at times, especially when the angels remind him about the limits of human understanding.
It's gotta be frustrating, right? To be so close to these incredible secrets, but unable to fully grasp them.
But Dee's determination shines through. He never gives up. He's convinced that these symbols hold the key to unlocking profound knowledge.
And maybe even power.
Possibly.
This is where it gets even more intriguing. Dee is instructed to find a specific stone. hidden in what's called a Roman possession.
It's a bit like Indiana Jones suddenly enters the picture.
Right. And what's a Roman possession anyway?
The text doesn't say. It could be a place or it could be a symbolic reference. But Kelly describes it in a vision.
So what did Kelly see?
This glowing, egg-sized stone, held by an angel with a fiery sword.
I can't even imagine witnessing something like that. And then Dee actually finds the stone, just as described, cold and hard. It's like the spiritual and the physical worlds are colliding.
Exactly.
What was so special about the stone, and why all the secrecy around it?
The angel calls it a meat receptacle for angelic power.
So like a tool.
To amplify Dee's abilities.
Okay, that makes sense. So he's got this potentially world-altering power in his hands. Did Dee ever think about, like, money?
Funny you should ask that. There's a part where he asks the angel Butmano for help finding treasure.
Treasure, really?
He needed money to pay off debts and buy things for his work,
Practical concerns. So what did the angel say?
But Mono says he has hoarded treasure.
For who?
The son of perdition.
I don't know that one.
It could be a reference to the Antichrist.
Oh, wow. Okay, so there's this connection between wealth and, like, spiritual downfall.
Yeah, that's a common theme, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Did Butmano tell him how to find this treasure?
He did. He explains that all spirits within the earth, except for those at the very center, are under his power.
So, like, he's got control of the earth spirits.
Yeah, and he tells Dee how to use his seal to unlock the earth's secrets.
So Dee basically gets a treasure map from an angel.
With a warning, though, about the spiritual risks of going after material wealth.
It's like every time Dee gets closer to something powerful, there's always a catch. Did he ever question what he was doing?
There's definitely this tension, right, between his thirst for knowledge and the angel's warnings.
Like they're testing him?
Maybe. Guiding him, definitely.
Makes you wonder if he would have been better off just, sticking to astronomy. Speaking of complicated, those tables of letters and numbers, did he ever figure them out?
Dee was convinced they were important. Remember the round table, the one with the 49 names?
Yeah, vaguely.
The angel Hawkmail tells Dee to compare those names to another set of 49 names for the tables with the 42 angels.
Whoa, wait, so it's like a puzzle within a puzzle.
Exactly. One set of names could be the key to the others.
And don't forget, each letter has a number connected to it. What was Dee trying to do with all this?
Was it just decoding an angelic language? Or was there something more?
Like some kind of power.
For Dee, knowledge and power were likely connected.
We already saw how he wanted to, influence the King of Spain. Was there anything else like that?
Oh, absolutely. In one part, Dee asks Hawkmail about how to work with what he calls worldly princes.
So not just kings, but like all kinds of leaders.
Right. He's looking for ways to apply this angelic knowledge to real-world situations, maybe even controlling political events.
So he wasn't just like a passive observer of the angels. He wanted to use their power.
Yeah.
Did they ever push back against that?
They did. They would offer guidance, but also stress that this knowledge had to be used responsibly.
Right, because there's potential for good and evil in all of this.
Exactly. Like they're giving Dee a choice, a path to follow.
Huh.
Carefully.
Speaking of good and evil, are all the angels in this text those nice, halo-wearing types?
Not exactly. Some are radiant, yeah. But others are darker.
Oh.
Like shrouded in darkness, even monstrous.
Yikes. Any examples?
Prince Borgia. He's described as pretty terrifying. All about fire and destruction.
That's pretty intense. It's not just angels and light in this story.
No. It's more like a reflection of our world, with all its complexities.
Right, right. Did this ever make Dee question what he was doing?
You can feel the tension, right? This pull between his desire to know and the angel's warnings.
About the limits of what humans can understand.
Right, like there's some things we're just not meant to know.
Makes you think, huh? But Dee, he just kept pushing forward. What kept him going?
Throughout the text, you see his resilience. He truly believes that with enough work, he can unlock the truth hidden in all these symbols and messages.
So it's more than just ambition.
I think so. There's a real sense of wonder there. He doesn't want to just observe the universe. He wants to interact with it, to understand its mysteries.
And that brings us back to the stone, right? The physical embodiment of this quest.
Exactly.
Last we heard, Dee had just found it, hidden in that Roman possession. What happened next?
This is where it gets even more interesting. The angel Hawkmail starts to reveal the stone's true purpose.
Which is?
It's not just about personal power. It's about influencing kings and rulers.
Whoa. So now Dee's ambition and his fascination with the occult are about to meet real-world politics.
Wait on.
What did the angel say about the stone and these kings and rulers?
He explains that every king, every prince has a designated angel, or prince as he calls it.
Like a guardian angel.
Sort of. But these angelic beings can be influenced, maybe even manipulated through the knowledge Dee's getting.
So D could potentially reshape the political landscape?
It's definitely a possibility.
I mean, this is huge. Did D ever hesitate? Have second thoughts?
The text doesn't explicitly say, but there are hints of caution, of awareness of the potential consequences.
With a lot of responsibility, right?
Yeah. Hockmail, while giving instructions, also emphasizes that any actions taken with the stone must be for the, and I quote, praise and advancement of God's glory.
A higher purpose.
Exactly.
Did the angel tell him how to use the stone for this?
He did. And the details are pretty fascinating. G has to place his feet upon the tables with the 42 letters. And the first letter of the first 7 names goes on top of a special table.
Okay, that sounds pretty specific. Anything else?
He also has to wear a ring.
A ring, huh?
Made of pure gold with his name inscribed on it.
Wow. So like a magic ring.
It seems so.
But what's the point of all this? Did D actually use the stone in this way?
That's the mystery, isn't it? The text doesn't say if he actually went through with it.
So we're left hanging.
In a way, yes. It's like D wants us to ponder the possibilities. Did he hesitate? Was he worried about the consequences?
It's almost like the text is reflecting the whole, ambiguous nature of D's quest. We see his ambition, but the outcome is unclear.
Maybe that was intentional.
You think so?
Maybe he wanted to leave clues for others to follow. Or maybe he was guarding his secrets, protecting the knowledge he worked so hard to obtain.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it? It feels like we've barely scratched the surface of this Quartus Liber Mysteriorum. So many questions left unanswered. What are some of the things you think listeners should take away from all of this?
Well, first, I think it's important to remember that this text gives us a really unique look into a mind grappling with science, magic, and religion all at once.
D wasn't just some, crazy hermit dabbling in the occult.
Exactly. He was a respected scholar, advisor to the queen, a product of his time. And for him, pursuing angelic knowledge wasn't at odds with his scientific work. It was an extension of it.
Right, like it was all connected.
It makes us rethink our own modern separation of these fields, What we call rational and supernatural weren't so distinct back then.
That's a good point. What else?
Quartus Liber Mysteriorum also makes us think about the relationship between knowledge and power.
D wasn't just collecting fun facts about angels.
No. He believed this knowledge could actually change things, influence events, maybe even control forces beyond human understanding.
And that brings up the question of, responsibility.
Right. What are the ethics of seeking and using this kind of knowledge?
D, the story is a bit of a warning, I guess. Even with good intentions, the pursuit of knowledge can have consequences.
Absolutely.
Anything else?
I think the mystery itself is important. The fact that we're still talking about this text centuries later shows its power.
Quartus Liber Mysteriorum doesn't give us easy answers.
It's more like it invites us on our own journey of discovery.
A journey that makes us question our own assumptions, explore the boundaries of what we think we know, confront the mysteries of being human. Thank you for taking us on this deep dive into the Quartus Liber Mysteriorum.
It's been a pleasure.
And to our listeners, we encourage you to check out the text yourself. Dive into its pages. See what you discover. The search for knowledge never really ends, and Quartus Liber Mysteriorum reminds us that the most fascinating discoveries are the ones that leave us with more questions than answers.